Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, getting down with Fresh Out. You can tune into another episode of Prison Talk. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. You're supporting, you're sharing it. We're trying to educate, throw in some motivation and positivity in there because there is life after prison. Go to our website, FreshOutSeries.com. You can subscribe, leave a comment. We love to hear from you. If I don't get to your question, don't be offended. I get a lot of emails and sometimes I can't make everything a video. I wanted to talk about how to spot a fake OG. So you got a lot of guys who say they're OGs. OG, is a term for, original gangster, somebody who's been through the game, somebody who's, experienced the life. They not only talk the talk, but they walk the walk. Well, a real OG is going to lace you up on the mistakes he made. He's going to lace you up on how to avoid getting caught up in the trap, how to better maneuver out of the game so that you can go legit, which is the ultimate goal for everybody who's a hustler in a game or somebody who's knee deep in just criminal activity. It's always to go legit. You don't want to be caught up in the criminality of anything all your life because it's no, you don't want that lingering over your shoulder. So a real OG, he's gonna give you these type of jewels. He's gonna put you under his wing, and he's gonna try to steer you in the right direction. A fake OG, he's gonna have you go on a mission, whether it's going to go put in some dirty work, holding the sack at your house, carrying a pistol when you're out in the streets doing dirt, because he's not going to carry it. He's going to have you carry it. He brags about all the gruesome shit he's had to do, or just trifling shit he had to do. He thinks it's entertaining, and he's always getting high, and he really has no principles. He's not trying to really better himself. He's just living day by day, doing whatever. He's getting money. He's hustling, of course. Fucking bitches. He's the man, but he's really not the man. That's a fake OG, man. Yeah, that's a fake OG. He probably hasn't taken the time to study anything to do with economics or business so that he could legitimize his business. He probably has multiple baby mamas, multiple kids he don't take care of. And he knows it's wrong because he didn't have a dad, but he's perpetuating the cycle. Rather than telling you not to get high or not to get involved in certain things, he's actually endorsing those things. He's trying to, get you to get high with him or to do stupid shit with him. If he's a real OG, he'd be telling you, hey man, why don't you go take a class at IT Technical Institute, man? Why don't you become a diesel mechanic or auto mechanic or take auto body or learn plumbing or learn to be an electrician, do something to elevate yourself, Don't fuck with this shit, man. I'm doing this shit because I didn't go to school. I fucked up, So I'm in the game, I'm in the streets, but if I had to do it all over again, I'd be doing something else. And that's what OGs do, man. A real OG puts you in a better position than he was so that you don't have to do the jail time that he did or could possibly do, or you don't have to go through all the hardship he went through. You know, you'll take care of your kids. You know, you'll create a family and love your wife or your girlfriend. You know, that's what a real OG does. You know, fake OG, he's bragging about how many people he shanked in the Pinta. You know, he's talking about all the shit he was doing on the yard. He's bragging about, you know, this riot and that riot. But he's bragging on the street to people who don't give a fuck. That's a fake OG. A real OG don't even want to talk about that stuff. He's trying to talk about how to get his life back on track. You know, yeah, he might have been calling shots in the pen and doing all this stuff. And if he does talk about things, it's to his other friends who have done time with him. But he's not bragging openly in public about all the shit that went down in prison like it's this fucking some hell of a fucking stripe. That shit is horrible, man. Seeing motherfuckers getting stabbed on the yard, people dying all over probably drugs or something stupid, man. Death all around you. You know, brutality. Ain't nobody proud of that shit. You know? Nobody's proud of that shit, but a real OG, he don't talk about that, man. He kind of internalizes it. And, you know, it's hard for a lot of guys because you don't have nobody to talk to. Talking to a square about having to carry a motherfucking shank in your boot, you know, having to, you know, carry drugs across the yard or having to, you know, put in work because a motherfucker's a rat. You know, the average motherfucker on the street, he's a rat. Given the right circumstances, he's gonna tell because he's got a family, he's a square. So you can't talk to squares about gangster shit. And so a real OG knows that, and he doesn't go around bragging about that, but a motherfucker who's a fake OG does. A real OG is, you know, like I said, trying to tell you to stay in school. If you're athletic, he's trying to tell you to stick with sports. A real OG is actually giving back to the community. Maybe this guy has helped a couple kids who didn't have dads, you know, stick with sports or go to college or help them get recruited or, you know, bought them, you know, school clothing or different things because it keeps a kid motivated to not go sell drugs for a pair of Jordans. That's a real OG, man. Instead of running the streets, a real OG is going to tell you to go in there and listen to your mom. You know, respect your mom. Go in there and listen to your dad. You know, don't be out here running around doing the shit I'm doing. You can have a better life than what I've had. You know, I did this because this is what I felt I had to do at the time, but if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't be doing it. That's a real OG. Real OG ain't you know, tossing you the strap to go kill somebody because he has sex with somebody else has sex with your girlfriend or because of some bullshit. And I know there's street codes, man. I mean, I've done a lot of shit, man. You know, somebody robs you for drugs, you gotta go and retaliate and shit like that. But a real OG is trying to get you away from that shit so you don't lose your whole life over something so stupid. $10,000 worth of drugs, $50,000 worth of drugs, $100,000, don't matter. The rest of your life would be spent in the pen because murder has no statute of limitation, and a real OG will let you know that. Because I tell you right now, anybody that raps about they did a murder or got away with murder, they ain't never did no murder. Because the feds, the government, the fucking police would be all over their ass. You're not gonna be rapping about all these people you shot and killed, attempted murders. Man, that's some fucking shit. I listen to some of this stuff too, man, because of the beats, man. But I tell you right now, all that shit, man, kill and I'm gonna do this. You're not gonna do nothing. You're gonna stay in the studio. You're gonna keep rapping. You're gonna keep selling that bullshit because it makes you money. And people like to listen to the beat. Suburban kids love to think that they could be badasses, even though they're not. And it's commercialized. But those guys in the studios, those rappers, fake OGs. Fake OGs, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, those rappers in the time span of their rap career were not pushing no hundreds of kilos, was not flying to fucking Bogota, Colombia, was not down in fucking Nicaragua. The real OGs like Freeway Rick Ross, you know, there's some other dudes I ran across from LA down in DC and Chicago. Those are the real OGs. They were out there putting in the work, man. But these rappers, man, you know, they haven't done none of that shit, man. They, you know, I'm a super blood and cuz this and that, man. They've never caught a fade. They've never been really in a real fight because they got bodyguards. They got motherfuckers 6'7", 300-pound linebacker motherfuckers that are gonna beat that ass. They ain't never had to do nothing. They get the tattoos and they throw in the B what the C should be, and it's like they're gangsters, man. Now, give or take, there is some real niggas out there. I know some motherfuckers out there who are really in the game. You know, Nip, you know, Sibo, you know, from what I heard, YG and, you know, Slim 100, you know, Game. A lot of these dudes that have, you know, they really was in the streets for some degree, man. You know, but I heard Mozzie was out there a little bit, you know what I mean? But, you know, a lot of people got out before they caught a murder, before they really got caught up, because I'll tell you right now, they shake down one of them motherfuckers' homeboys and they think that they could tell. A lot of times these motherfuckers are gonna tell because the cops got a hard on for these rappers who have made all this money, you know, and they don't wanna see you out there monetizing death, murder. They don't wanna see it. So real OG's not gonna tell you that that shit is cool. They're not gonna endorse that. And you know, they're on some different time, man. They're not, you know, gung-ho on flossing their money on social media or talking about what they own and this and that. They driving the shit. They doing it, but they keeping it on the low because they know unless, you know, you can prove where you got it from, you're gonna cause a lot of motherfucking scrutiny, you know? So that's a real OG and fake OG, and there's a lot more I could talk about with that, man, but just in a nutshell, man, you know, be able to distinguish the two. You know, if this is the motherfucking, your OG, your big homie, man, you know, what's his education, man? What's his background? You know, what does he do when you're not around? I mean, how is he furthering himself in life? Because ultimately, in life, the goal is to be successful, to be prosperous, to take care of your family. And if the motherfucker who's supposedly your big homie, your OG, he's not doing none of those things, then you got to reevaluate who you look up to, because those are fake OGs. Big Herc, 916, getting down prison talk. Fresh out. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.